And got a few key matchups in the centre. Matty Snook starting there, obviously, and Luke Partington, Brett Turner. Looks like he's going to Bryce Gibbs. Little shake of the hand between Jesse McKinnon and Matt Snook. But the time for talking is well and truly done. Your premiership hopes go on the line tonight. If you're not up to it, you're packing your bags and having a beer. If you are, you live on for another week. Sammy, we're about to kick things off. All yours.
What a wonderful occasion here at the Adelaide Oval. And you couldn't expect anything better. Two teams coming in with some outstanding form. Let's hope for a great game tonight. Umpires bounce a little astray. Griffiths gets the first touch. He's wrapped up immediately, and Partington straight into the game. Just puts it on the boot toward the wing, but a good mark taken on the chest by Heaslip. And he's going to reset here, about half back. Play on call pretty quickly, told to move it on. Toward the wing. Was he taken over the shoulder? Curran, umpire says a free kick given. And he'll hand it to the base.
So it was there, the co-captain getting an early touch. He's used to doing that. This kick not his best. Intended for Turner, wasn't there. Mopping up South now, an early touch. Horn Francis tumbling it forward. Big fist from Curran that time, just knocked forward by Wilkinson. Big pack arrives, and after all that back and forth, we're back where we were a couple of seconds ago. Horn Francis running with Snook. That's a little mouth-watering one. Bradley just coming up behind Gibbs. He's open this time. Ball tumbles to the back. Tackle laid by Turner. He's a tackling machine. He'll do that all night. Spills free to South. Again, the pressure comes from the Tigers, and they can break through the middle of the ground if they can just pick up and find a target. Now breaking to this side. Broadcast side and running back with the flight. Under the pump. Handball comes to Motlop. The little chipping ball over the top is very good. That finds Dylan Lant. His ball inside 50 is a tumbler. Misses Hosey. McBean not there either. Bradley picks up, goes by hand, probably could have thrown it. Snapping ball, Allen. And again, forced to defend a South. With all the time in the world is Billy Stretch. And the Tigers are on the board early.
With agribusiness industries growing in South Australia, there's low-cost skills and training available now, including apprenticeships. Unlock opportunities to earn while you learn and build your career. Explore your passion. Visit skills.sa.gov.au. A message from the Government of South Australia.
Quite remarkably, his first goal this season for Billy Stretch, and what a time to get it up. The first few minutes of a preliminary final, just caught the crumbs nicely, kicked around the body, and slots the first, puts the bays in front. A nice little buffer to get things going.
Felt like one of those finals goals, wasn't it, Sam? A bit of a broken play through the centre of the ground, a bit of a chaos ball, and forced South into defending early, asked him a question, and right place, right time for Billy Stretch. Well finished off. It'll settle the nerves.
Well cleaned up. Former AFL player Billy Stretch as the ball goes back up in the centre again. The two rucks, Hanneth and Griffith, go at it, falls through. Horn Francis caught too high, free kick. And they'll look to move it forward again here, South Adelaide. Couldn't get inside 50 last time from that free at half back, and they'll be hurried on quickly once more. Much like last time, the kick not great toward Heaslip as it bounces out of bounds, and last touch it'll go to the bays.
Probably like to see him go a bit more direct there. If you're a key forward, if you're Big Dan Nobes, you're just wondering why the ball's not thrust into the forward 50.
Motlop takes a little mark from a short kick. Ball doesn't move too far from the kick in. And a lot of stagnant players in front of him, so decides to go backwards. Curran just holds up the play, and they may look to switch here. The players moving into the centre of the ground a little more to create some space. He'll stick along with going up the line. Over the head of McBean, bouncing Partington into his hands. His handball cut off nicely. McKinnon drops the footy. Umpire didn't see anything wrongdoing. Big tackle there. And little handball away. They'll get out of here. Allen's clearing kick. Hits Pink in the face, and he goes after it again, just falls over it. Some poor footy, some skills not too great. Beeman's kick into the centre, Curran brought down, and so is Wilkinson. Umpire's going to ball it up inside the centre square. Amazing pressure in that passage of play. South fighting as hard as you can see, but they haven't really advanced the ball forward. There's a free kick being paid. It's going the Tigers' way, going to Hanneth. As Horn Francis was on the break. This time, Hanneth just goes bang. Where's Pink? Where's McBean? McBean's in best position. He couldn't get there. Was just held out. Haynes breaks and does well. South can clear. He gives a little 1-2. His driving ball onto the wing. Proud in front of K Lotto.
This one turns to land. His ball just fires back. McBean flies, can't get hands to it. And again, South forced into a decision. McBean sharks his snap on goal. He's offline. It bounces and through for a minor score.
And again, just taking the chance that comes to ground. Doesn't have to be a key player marking the footy up forward there for them to be a scoring opportunity. Glenelg now 2 shots at goal, 1-1 plays. No score yet for South Adelaide, yet to penetrate that inside 50 kick. Clearing one out of defence. Mark goes down. And then a kick straight back inside 50 by Agnew and hits Partington on the chest. Bit of an angle here for Partington. It'll take a good kick.
Fortune favours. You get the ball in the right spot and your Magarey medalist knows where to be. There's no one really there, and Pink lays a good block on Skinner. Partington has all the time in the world. Dream start.
They've set up for goal here. Luke Partington back in the team tonight. Much welcomed into this team as well for the Bays. You want a player like him in your team in a prelim final. He sets up. The kick's pretty good. Umpires hardly moved. They've got 2 in only a few minutes.
Watch South Adelaide play every game live, anywhere, anytime with the SANFL Digital Pass. Get yours at sanfldigitalpass.com.au.
So when you've had an underwhelming week the week before and you just asked a few questions during the week about where you're at after thinking of a perfect season, best way to start this. 2 goals in the early going. South on the back foot. The Tigers taking the upper hand. 17 straight before losing the last 2 games of the season. Many hoped it would be a minor speed bump rather than a hurdle. Time will tell, but it's looking promising for them tonight. No ruckman getting effective hands on that tumbling ball forward from O'Neill. Horne-Francis been busy early. Another high tackle. It probably could have been paid. Umpire says he ducked and holding the ball. But he's getting involved, the young star. He's had his hands on the footy.
You've got to have a crack at this type of game as well. And just to see him putting his head over it early, trying to get a few, and take a few risks as well. You can only ask that from a young lad. Certainly doing that. That ball from Martini ended up with Proud, and now wide out on the wing with Bradley. He's gone through a fair bit, the former skipper. His ball in brought to Motlop. Rewarded with a premiership in 2019, Andrew Bradley, when his career looked in a bit of trouble. This one's turned over to Beamans. He's got an open corridor. He can't find a shirt, and it's a tumbling ball inside there to Durden, who does well to gather on the half volley. Just give his side a little respite. That looked dangerous there for South. Just letting down with a couple of skills going inside forward 50.
Their first inside 52 for the game. Going up was Overall to do the ruck work. Didn't find his player that he liked. Going down is Schwartz in a tackle. Will it spill out the back? Umpire's going to blow the whistle. They'll cross himself again and have another ball up about 48 from goal. And the Panthers would love to make this into a scoring chance once more. Schwartz goes straight back down on a tackle. Very much Groundhog Day for him in that little moment. 7.5 minutes gone already. And the Bays with 2 very good shots on goal and converting. Hanneth taps down straight to the turf. Stretch goes down in a tackle. And we'll do it all again a 3rd time in a row. Clearance battle already 3 apiece, so both teams getting a good look at it.
Hanneth this time just slaps it outside 50, but you'd think it comes back. South set up relatively well. Kluski grabbed a tumbling ball now to centre half forward. McBean's nowhere near this one. The free kick could have been paid against Toby Pink. Umpire now blows a whistle as the Tigers are on the break. It's a fair result.
Had the head over the footy as well. You've got to reward a player for that. But, geez, if he didn't pay it, it was game on there for the Tigers. They had 2 players running back with Pink and Motlop. Would have been a sure goal.
Certainly was. Bailey Griffiths it was, getting some front-on contact. A little clumsy from Toby Pink. But it's the ruckman's responsibility now. True centre-half back. Lines up straight down the ground. Virgin and Gibbs just pushed under that one. Curran marks in front of Horne-Francis. He's called to go. Just a little half a step. Puts Agnew under pressure. He's stalked by Cross. Allen's ball wide to Proud. Gee, the pressure's on, forcing a couple of skill errors. Stalking him is Fraser Turner. And the ball out of bounds on the outer side. Well, geez, you're in a good position just to get it down the ground. A little bit of heat just forces the mistake, Sam.
So all that's going to come in finals footy too is loads of pressure. They're going to pick it up cleanly and use good skills. So far the Bays doing that very well. Schwartz does well, just gets that clearing boot away. Inside 50. Bouncing ball there in front of Cross. He almost got wrapped up. Found a way to hand it off there to Roberts, who's brought down to ground. And once more, another ball up right on the paint of 50. And it's happened a number of times now. They just can't break through this little area. It's like there's a wall, and Glenelg won't let it go past. Virgin running after it hard with speed. Pushing off there, Beamans just skies a really high ball. They're going to wait under it here. Curran was patient, sat under it. Wilkinson, always clever. He's wrapped up like two tigers. Now coming out the back there is Cross, gets her hands away. Overall, kick smothered into the hands there of Reynolds, and Virgin will clear.
Just tumbles one for distance and says, get it out of here. Motlop lays a tackle, but it's coming back in through the skipper, flying over the top. Ball now in the hands of Reynolds, and the Tigers can break through the middle of the ground. Here they go through Klusky. On his bike is Toby Pink. It's going to be a 2-on-1, eventually getting back his Skinner. He does that beautifully. He was outstanding last week. His form's continued today. That's a lovely ball out wide to Fraser Turner. He's got a man in an acre of space, is Bryce Gibbs. Now Andrew Bradley's going to go at him. He hears the boos of some unappreciative Glenelg fans. I'm not sure about that. Ball to the hot spot. There's a grab taken. It's a clever piece of work. Is it Roberts?
Yeah, young Roberts has taken the mark on the chest. Just sort of fell into his chest too. Good body work to see him sit under the footy. Didn't try and work too hard to lose his position, and found the footy in his arms, and a little bit of push and shove afterwards, which is always good to see. A bit of fight in the dog. And the team right now, the Panthers, under a bit of pressure, but they're going to need this goal. This is important.
Took it in front of Reed Cooler. So Matt Roberts kicked a goal last week. None more important than this one early on for South Adelaide. You can hear the groans of the Glenelg fans. That one's through. South are on the board.
What a day. Gotta sweat it out. Let the pressure out. Push on. Come on. Tomorrow, bring it on. Ion 4 Hydration. Powerade.
So we got a bum steer then from the crowd. It looked like it was fading across the face, but he snuck it in.
That's what it felt like as well. And you saw the umpire just walk and take a few steps across as well. But it did sneak in. And for the 18-year-old, no pressure. He doesn't feel it whatsoever. What a great kick. Under a little bit of pressure tonight in a prelim. Only his 7th game in the league. And standing up in a crucial time there. You don't want to let this opposition in Glenelg get away too early.
So McBean having a crack in the ruck against Kay Lotto. He wins that on that occasion, does the South Adelaide ruckman. Socket off the ground. Roberts again trying to win this ground ball. Arriving is Allen. Just shovels one outside. Partington hacks it forward, but mistakenly it's going to come right back in. Ball to the hot spot. Pushed under the ball. Did well there was Durden. Leads the race back. His chipping ball. It's effective. Asked a fair bit of land, but he got there. Allen. Geez, the Tigers are set up well. Virgin can get on the end of this if it sits for him. He's got Bradley in some space. Takes a bit of time. Snook. His hands inside to Curran. Geez, they're going by hand. They can go by foot at some point if they like. McBean's tackled to the ground. You think the last thing you want to do is handball to your big key forward while he's in midair. That one's extracted by Snook, and they're away again through Bradley. No lead comes from Pink. Doubles back. Reynolds to the ground. They're all losing their feet. Pink shovels one back inboard. Bailey waits. Bailey pounces. Can they put one on the foot? They can. It's offline. Wow, a lot of work for an Allen behind.
The defensive 50 transition into the forward 50 and then to score. That's what they're doing really well at the moment. Glenelg, and a couple of little stops along the way with some free kicks in the past have held them up. But so far their movement from one end to the other is just about seamless, and they're doing it and attacking nicely at goal. As that inset mark there by McBean, long way from goal. He's going to have to set it up for somebody else to kick one. He's kicked 54 for the year. He's been prolific. Kick toward the pocket. In front there was Heaslip, and it goes to ground. No one could mark cleanly. At the bottom of that was Brett Turner.
Tried to claim it.
You can always ask the question.
Well, it's all you can do. If they say no, they say no. Play on.
So McBean gets a hand to it, comes to ground. It's Schwartz bursting through. Just finds a way to get boot to ball to the one-on-one. Horn Francis in front. Couldn't claim. Bradley. Proud. Partington. Back to Bradley, and Curran almost got away with it there. Bailey repped up straight away. Good tackle by the captain in Rose. And another ball up here on Glenelg 50.
And a good smother from Wilkinson running forward there too, out of position, but made a late charge just to thwart that one. This time it's McBean down to Snook. He's dragged to ground. No free kick paid. Through the middle of the ground now is Sampson. His ball is a little offline. Sets Nobes a task. 2-on-1 Durden. Little shuffle, and the big fella, like a caravan, just loses his footing. Curran, true centre-half back. He's got stretch in the middle of the ground if he wants him. He's going wide to Proud. Bradley wasn't interested. He was making his way off for a rest, but probably could have got a handball. Bradley does look for the small, short one. It's not on. So Proud to Partington. Stretch is on if he wants. There he goes. He gets him at centre-half forward. Turner was in space, but he swings the other way. High ball. Darcy Bailey back with the flight. Oh, well done. Coming over the top, Skinner. Clearing ball, smothered inside by Schwartz. Geez, the heat's on here, Sam. Players fight for this one. Unbelievable. What pressure. Scrap at centre-half forward. The Tigers take the territory. It's going to be balled up.
Yeah, it is. It's hot in the kitchen at the moment. It's tough footy, and that's what you want. A little bit of uncontested footy too, but loads of contested stuff. And in finals footy, it's all you can ask for. McBean again in the ruck against Carlotto. Spills to ground. Little handball went free from Turner. And now bursting through there, I think that's O'Neill. He gets wrapped up as well by two Tigers. And away from goal here, 51, 52 metres out. Good start for the Bay. He's got the first couple, but since a little bit of momentum going South's way, they just need to get it going forward. O'Neill wrapped up again, receiving the handball. Carlotto tries to spin out of trouble. Take it high there, Schwartz. He'll get a free kick given against Snook. And he'll almost wanted to move it on very quickly. Chose not to switch it up. Goes toward O'Neill on the member's side. He spills an easy take, just a little bit unbalanced. And now Sampson just takes an uncontested one and moves it up the line. Toward the benches. Overall punches. Carlotto just overruns it and it bounces the other way. Proud to Snook, and now Motlop on the right boot. Moves it through the corridor. He looks for Hose. He's just dropped the footy. No push. Yes, there was. So to go the Bay's way, and they all flood forward. One more chance to set it up. Bailey's making himself free. He just drops the footy. Another opportunity to mark inside 50, and Gibbs gets it away through a Heaslip.
Well, what a passage. Proud has to go back with the flight here. Fist comes late over the top. Was an effective one there from Lant, but the Panthers are still going forward. One-on-one Nobes. Was good in this position last week. This time gives away a free kick, and 25. Not entirely pleased with that. Neither are the South Adelaide faithful that have made their way in. Not sure the free kick was there, to be honest.
Maybe a few words there from Daniel Nobes forced the free.
So Durden's coughed it up. Dylan Lant has a bit of work to do. Martini arrives. This is untidy from the Tigers. That ball to Snook makes him wait, arriving K-Lotto, but it gets through hands and goes over the back. Agnew now. Can he find a shirt? A high ball. Hosey! Good grab in front of Haynes. Probably too far out to score. He's got Pink in the goal square. He's got Bailey on short, Hanneth. Reynolds is it that makes a lead. That's a good kick from Hosey. Found his man, sets him a tough
smart
task.
Footy, sorry, butt in there, Theo, but that's just a brilliant piece of football. Really experienced head in the moment. He knew that he had to be poised, take that time, lower the eyes, not go and be the hero, and he's got a really good kick in Reynolds here in the pocket.
Yeah, he's been fantastic this year, Luke Reynolds. 35 goals in the 19 games. Hosey opting to give his teammate a tougher shot rather than pop it to the goal square. Reynolds' shot is a little narrow. Good looking behind. Just misses.
2-3 plays, one straight kick. 9-point lead to the Bays. Top this season, looking for their second grand final in 3 years, and also in their centenary year. They'd love to make it a perfect one, just about. Toward the wing, big fist from behind will roll out of bounds. We'll have a throw in centre wing here at the Adelaide Oval. We've played 18.5 minutes. Sam Tugwell, Theodoropoulos on the SANFL digital pass. A wonderful evening, great conditions for preliminary finals football.
Perfection here at Adelaide Oval. A couple of thousand in. Strongly represented each side. Hanneth turned around in that ruck contest. Partington can't gather. Snook either lays a tackle. Going to be balled up again. Schwartz on top of that pack. Gibbs trying to get involved in the game so far. hasn't made a lightning start. Bradley, he's been busy. Snaps one to half forward. Pink, coming through hard there. Reynolds crashed the pack. Harassing him out of that one was Sampson. And Somerton takes it over the boundary line with Motlop. It's going to be tossed in. Chance for everyone to take a break, have a breath. Little reset for either side. What'll be 19 minutes gone. Been a red hot start to this prelim final.
The eyes of the country on this game as well. Grand final eve in the AFL. Terrific to see two of our great teams on display. So far, a hotly contested game. Sampson brought down, ripping tackle there from Kula. Umpire says, play on, everybody. Umpire finally says he'll ball it up. And like that we've seen so far, all the fair free kicks paid, but also allowing the play to go on too. As the ball goes back up again, about 55 from goal. Attacking areas here for Glenelg. We know they're good at stoppage, and it bounces out of the arms of Schwartz. Tapping along, Motlop just taps it out. Rose, was he taken high? Umpire says yes. Just takes a moment to get up and look. A few players clearing out. We'll just take the short and safe option. Joel Cross in defence, moves it up towards Schwartz.
Long way from home, Joel Cross. Been hitting the scoreboard in recent weeks. Makes a burst through the middle of the ground. Blocks for Gibbs. Schwartz now called to go. Forced wide. Bit of a one-on-one out on the wing. No clean ball taken. Strong tackle comes from Virgin. The fluoro pink boots. Hanneth and Griffiths make their way out. Hanneth this time. Tumbling ball to centre half forward. Bailey, if he doesn't, gets a horrible bounce, but it sits for Motlop. Now he can go with a turn of speed. He can't gather. Well, you wouldn't read about it. No one gets a clean bounce and a high tackle paid. South taking the advantage through Gibbs. Here he goes. The star Rolls Royce getting involved and making some play. Here's Roberts. 1.5 kicks from home. He's held up. Tigers get back in numbers. Dumps this to the top of the square. No push out. Nobe strolls into an open goal. Snaps it up and under. It's touched off the boot and spiked over the line. It came from Martini. Well, Nobes looked like he was through. The big fella probably didn't know what to do with all the space, and he popped it straight up in the air.
Well, I'm not sure if there was a hand or two on it. We might see the replay here, and I think he did. Allen somehow smothered, and it just deflected away from goal. But quite a strange little piece of play there from Daniel Nobes, as you said. Wasn't quite sure what he was doing, and decided, well, I might as well have a shot. So in the back pocket here, South Adelaide down 7-15. Just the 1-goal. Roberts, the only goal scorer. Kick to Curran, just gets into the hands right in the corner of the half-back line. Short kick back into Durden as we hop into red time now in this first term, approaching quarter time. Bays with 2 quick goals to get this quarter underway. And since it's been pretty tough going, Allen, nice mark, moves it on quickly. Short kick was pretty poor there. Bailey gets it back, and now Reynolds on the left boot looking for Motlop. He takes a mark just inches inside the line. Does he move it on quickly? Chooses just to wait for a few numbers to get back. Sizes up his options, goes backwards though to Allen. Little defensive play as they structure up. He's got McBean leading into the pocket, aims for him, the one-on-one kick. It goes over both their heads, and Pink will see it over the line. Forward pocket around 10 from goal.
So McBean will be the focal point. It'll put the wind up a few defenders out, wouldn't it? Liam McBean, 3-time Ken Farmer medalist, of course. He's had a stunning year and product of some fantastic ball movement, which we have seen tonight. It just probably hasn't resulted in scores on the board just yet. This one over the top of both ruckmen, poorly judged. Tumbling ball can't be taken. Motlop swings onto the right boot. It's just offline, it looks like, across the face. Looking dangerous, the Tigers, 2-4.
Had some tough shots at goal, but there's been a lot of opportunistic scores as well, and a few of them being behinds. They would have a pretty nice margin. So South lucky that they're as close as they are at this stage. Just some inaccurate kicking as Haynes runs it out of the back goal square and kicks out toward the far wing. Punched away toward the boundary line, does go out. Centre wing here at Adelaide Oval. We played 24 minutes.
Well, you're
right,
right,
9-point
Sam.
lead.
It's 9-point margin. It's 89 disposals to 56. The Tigers are absolutely all over them. 23 marks to 9. 31 tackles to 18. So dominating everywhere. Haven't been able to turn it into scoreboard pressure just yet.
O'Neill gets a kick away, cut off straight away by Virgin. And that's the thing, their transition from one end to the other for South hasn't been great, but for Glenelg, once they take a mark on half-back, they generally get it inside 50. And again, they've been moving it fast all day, as they do, playing it on straight away here on the wing. Kick from stretch goes inside 50. Chance to score as well on the back of this, maybe on the crumb. Skinner was there, takes down Kula. Great piece of defensive work by the Panther. Umpire's going to ball it up 35 from goal. Just feel like that movement. Glenelg are doing it so much faster and so much better and cleaner than how South have been.
And South are spending a lot of tokens getting back to clog the Tigers forward 50. Gibbs this time, Horne-Francis, a little handball. He got it to O'Neill, who just clears the area. Virgin running back almost like Steve Ward, just spilled the catch. That's the only difference. Joel Cross that time wins himself a free kick, but Harron's played on. The siren beats them all. Well, sort of sums up the first quarter at the Adelaide Oval for South Adelaide. They were forced into a lot of defensive work. The Tigers dominating all around the ground. 2-4-16 plays 1-1-7, a 9-point lead. Goals to Luke Partington and Billy Stretch, while for South, young man Matty Roberts stood up to the pressure to kick his side's only goal of the first quarter. We're going to take a short break. On the other side, we're going to sum up the numbers. Second quarter not far away.
Take a look at their top scorers, top ball getters. Joey Haynes and Hayden Sampson leading with 6 disposals each. Joel Cross with 5. But for the Bays, Allen, Curran and Bradley at the top. 9 touches for Allen and Curran. Bradley with 8. Marla Motlop and Partington both with 7 each. Just smashing the disposal numbers early on.
So 4 for Horne-Francis and 3 for Gibbs. They'll look to get into this game as it goes on. Top scorers. I know you've had a long day at the cricket, but he's done very well calling the Shield game all afternoon and rushed to the Adelaide Oval to do the footy. Second quarter underway. Umpire recalls that bounce. Favoured Griffiths. Probably had no complaints. Neither did Bryce Gibbs, who ended up with the pill. This time tossed up. A hush falls over the ground. Hannah slaps it. Gibbs goes off ground, has to go and get it. His handball only goes as far as Bradley. His side's won the pill from this contest. Goes to centre half forward. Martini pushes Roberts under the ball. Got a bit of a problem. Pack forms. Agnew circling. Curran there too. Not coming out. Umpire will ball it up. So Horne-Francis gets the handball, gets a little extraction. His teammate fumbles. He goes in, lays a tackle. As you can see why North Melbourne are excited. You can see why the Crows would want to trade up.
Sampson to Rose, who kicks a shallow inside 50. It's going to bounce just over Schwartz's hands. Coming in through late there was Overall. Handball away here from the Bays, looking to get out of trouble. Snook dives on it. Sampson again, just chucks on the outside of the boot. Cross put one hand to it. Agnew in a bit of trouble here. He dives on it too. Cross does the same thing. Can he get it out late? Little kick there from Kailotto, not so great. And at the bottom of that, Beeman's. In fact, it's Liam Fitt right at the top of goal here, as the umpire says, we'll ball it up. So about 15 from goal. Good opportunity here for South that they can make something out of this. Roberts, the first goal scorer of the game, just kicks a little astray. It's a behind. And the score moves to 1-2. So a lead of 8 points here for South for the Bays.
So Virgin, long left boot, takes territory. Wants McBean. Fist came from Summerton. McBean lays a bit of body on Beemans. But they'll take the 60 metres, the Tigers. Let them set up probably 20 metres shy of centre wing. Curran off the ball. Land involved in this one. Snook and Horne-Francis at the centre. Turner goes in motion. That ball to Gibbs. Tidy ball into the pocket. Free kick being paid, I reckon. Going to Kailotto. Max Proud had a hold of the jumper. Not traditionally one to argue Max Proud. Marking machine, the co-captain, premiership player. So Kailotto is probably 1.5 kicks from home. He'll have to kick from right on the paint. Going to take the responsibility, the big man. It's a little bit offline and misses everything. So just on his distance, 50 metres. Didn't strike it too well. But the good news for South, they've got the ball hemmed in their back pocket. Virgin's got some thinking to do.
You'd think a big guy like Carlotto would generally put that through the big sticks, but not to be on that occasion. A little bit of breeze out there too. Big kick out of defence. In front there was McBean. Bailey's kick. It looks like he's gone down there. Maybe a small ankle. He's in a bit of a scuffle as well as the footy comes back into another scuffle of sorts around the footy.
Punch thrown.
Yeah, we may just have to go back to this in a moment. A few players not happy with each other as they just disperse.
Somerton stuck out his boot.
Can't quite win the footy cross. This would be miraculous. He gets brought down as well. Two players. Umpires found a free. Joel Cross. As Roberts walks into an open goal, it's going to come back. They won't give the goal. In fact, they will. 2 to Roberts.
Watch the Bays play every game live, anywhere, anytime, with the SANFL Digital Pass. Get yours at sanfldigitalpass.com.au.
So not sure what the free kick was for on Joel Cross. It looked like a pretty good tackle. Roberts strolled into an open goal. But I just wonder whether they're going to look at the Somerton incident out on this wing here. So Darcy Bailey picked up the ball, went to kick it, and Somerton studs up, tried to smother. I'm not sure you're allowed to do that.
I think there'd be some law against that, but ultimately I think there were a lot of Glenelg players a little bit distracted at that stoppage too, and allowed Horn Francis to get up forward pretty cleanly. And a small moment there for Agnew as well as he gave away a free, and I reckon there'll be up another gear here. It's already hot in the kitchen, it's only getting hotter.
You know what they say, the umpires don't change their mind, so it's on the board. Play on. Tigers forced into another clearance, a high tackle this time, and you can hear the cheers. Allen tries to play on. Now the cheers turn to groans because he's not allowed to play on. Gee, a fan, you're never happy, are you?
Can't win.
So Allen, raking left foot ball, is smothered. The Tigers can pounce now as McKinnon, just a big up and under. Leading back, Agnew. Proud comes to lend a hand. Ball sits for Cross. We've seen a lot of players duck their heads to win high tackles tonight. It's probably the 4th or 5th time that's happened. You can hear the crowd unhappy. Cross, chipping ball into the pocket, through the hands of Gibbs. Snook goes back to win it. Dispossessed was Stretch. Taken over the boundary by Overall was Curran. Will be tossed in.
They've led all the way through this game already here, the Bays, and South can sniff themselves maybe another chance and the first opportunity to take the lead in the prelim. Ball back in, Carlotto doing the ruck work, didn't win it cleanly. Coming through there is Beamans. Umpire's going to ball it up 40 from goal here. 2-2 plays 2-4, and amazingly Matt Roberts, the 18-year-old, with 2 goals, 1 to his name. Of those 2 goals, 2 for the Panthers. Turner, little handball away, Stretch. Now Bradley and Agnew connect. Kick, a little scrambled toward the members' wing. Pink does well just to fist it forward. It's a 2-on-1 contest. They're going to win out here. Haynes for the Panthers just bombs it back in the other direction. O'Neill coming forward, takes a great mark.
Good grab indeed. Lant went back with courage, but O'Neill too good aerially that time. Called to play on Sampson. Ball into the pocket. The flank is good to Gibbs. I'm not sure why we're booing Bryce Gibbs. Spent the best part of a decade away from the Tigers. His ball's off the side of the boot. There's a scramble for a grab in the pocket. Leading with the head again there is Wilkinson. Umpire correctly doesn't pay the free kick. And again, we've just seen South Adelaide be able to absorb a couple of counter punches and throw a few big ones of their own in this early going in the second term. 7 minutes gone. Bradley's ball smothered, pressure coming. South have just gone up a gear. All of a sudden, the Tigers forced to answer a couple of questions.
I just feel like this 7.5 minutes since quarter time. South have got their mojo back, haven't been moving inside 50 much at all really this quarter at Glenelg. We'll look at the numbers in just a moment as the ball comes into the pocket. Cross was there, Overall gets a kick. It's a free kick to Glenelg here. May have been shepherding out during that contest. Durden's going to take the kick. So the inside 50 count this quarter, 6-0 all South's way.
Durden goes sideways to Virgin. Schwartz plays on, he's grabbed as he got the kick away off the side of the boot. The pressure came, and Hosey, 150 metres from his natural habitat. Short one to Bailey. That's broken up by Skinner. He kicks goals, this man. He takes contested marks on this occasion. He's just offline. Well, wouldn't that have been something? Wouldn't that have been something from Sam Skinner?
No, he was exceptional last week. One of the reasons why they won that semi-final against Norwood. 11 intercept marks, and you mentioned it just there as he set sail. He has spent a lot of time up forward in his career, and just this last half of the season has been sent to defence, and he's done a lot of really good work, found a new home, but that was definitely something he would usually converted there from 40 out. And now the score, a 1-point ball game with the Bays, the footy with Lant at half-back. Kicks along that red 50 paint to Agnew. And they're just not quite in their zone here at the moment, the Bays. They're all over them, the Panthers, this quarter. Back toward Lant, who gets the footy back, kicks up toward Bailey, who takes a nice mark, leading up to the footy centre wing. And finds McBean on the lead. Good hands. Looking inside 50, goes short. And it just falls out. Hanneth, the leading player. It'll fumble out of bounds. A throw in about 55 from goal.
A little more promising though, wasn't it? We saw the Tigers couldn't go through the middle of the ground, so got into a kick mark type possession game, which they're also super effective at. And South barely touched the ball. All of a sudden it's at half forward for the Tigers. Roberts, tackled by a Snook again, throws the arm up to try and win the free kick. Should be paid holding the ball. See on the big screen, well, 50-50. Hanneth, that 1-1 down by Griffiths. Here's Virgin in the bright pink boots. Bradley swings onto the left, comes back inboard on the right. Little tumbling ball over the head of Motlop. Hosey. His centering ball is imaginative to Turner. Wasn't that a piece of work? Turner's ball's wide to Bailey, just over the head of Darcy Bailey. But gee, that was something from Lockie Hosey. Just spotted a man out of the corner of his eye and opened up the entire field. Just couldn't quite capitalise on that occasion, the Tigers.
Some special skills on display there when he set the footy up, and so accurately as well. You love to see that, and especially in SANFL footy. A lot of eyes glued to this game tonight around the country, which is so important as well for this game. As the ball comes back in, O'Neill handballs away. Kick wasn't great there from Rose. Allen just swings around on that left boot. High ball. Hosey comes down, doesn't take the mark. In fact, he does. Umpires paid it. He came from a long way back and sat on a few shoulders. That's a highlight you'd like to see again.
Well, I reckon it's a grab. Just watching it on the screen at the Adelaide Oval. Joe Haynes came through late to spoil the party, but gee, that's a hanger from Lockie Hosey.
Well, it spilled out immediately as he hit the ground, but they'll claim it and they'll take it if they can kick this goal. It'll be a big one here from Hosey. He doesn't miss. It's not a great kick though. Reynolds on the line there. As I say, he doesn't miss. He hasn't gone a game this season where he hasn't kicked a goal, so generally he's pretty good in those circumstances. Another behind for the Bays. They go to 2-5.
Hosey 2-2 last week. The second of those behinds was to win the game. Good grab this time by Lant on centre wing. Tigers looking to fire it back in after absorbing a couple of South Adelaide jabs. That one's good to Partington. Geez, he bit off a little bit there, Dylan Lant. Partington tumbles one to a hot spot at centre half forward. There's nobody home. Good grab taken by Harron. Coming forward to meet it. Left foot ball to the wing, looks for overall. It's a tidy kick in front of Proud. And now South just held up. Not as free-flowing this second term we've seen. So called to go. Where are the Flyers? On the outer side. Doing well is the big man Griffiths. Laying a tackle, Durden. Umpire circling. Turner there to lay a tackle as well. Gee, doesn't he love a tackle?
13 minutes into this second quarter, and South Adelaide have been much better than they were in the first. They're just touching this.
Allowed Schwartz just to drift into some open space, 45 metres out, unchecked. And the young man, well, that's footy IQ right there.
It certainly is. Just lowered the eye, saw there was an opportunity up ahead and spotted him up. Not far from him, 15 metres, really the kick. But it's just enough to create another opportunity here for the Panthers.
So here he goes, Nick Schwartz, 45 metres out. Umpire shields the light from his eyes. Schwartz thumps the air. Panthers have another one.
Oh, what a day. Gotta sweat it out. Let the pressure out. Push on. Come on. Tomorrow, bring it on. Ion 4 Hydration. Powerade.
Panthers are on a roll, 3 in a row. Glenelg yet to kick a major in this second term. It's been all South Adelaide. They piled it on the scoreboard. The pressure around the contest, still trailing disposal-wise, but they're hitting the Tigers where it hurts. McBean into the centre. So they go again, favoured by the bounce. K Lotto hit down, Snook just tumbles one on the left boot. Sets Partington a task, he does well. Hits the ball with pace, doesn't sit for him. Gathers on the right boot, hooks one into the centre of the forward line. Pink, he's dispossessed. Stretch has to lay a tackle. The Tigers happy to take what's on offer. They're not being given much room at the moment. Umpire quick to toss that one up. McBean could have won a free kick. It was turned around. Gibbs at the bottom of this pack. Umpire caught us all off guard. I thought he might have taken a second to let the rucks get settled, but they're already there.
McBean will do it, the ruck work a second time. Straight to the ground, just bouncing ball. McBean finds himself back with it. Here's Lockie Hosey. Just a little bit too skinny there. Kick wasn't too great and goes through for a behind. So 9 points the margin. And unfortunately for the Bays, 2 goals, 6. That's not what you want to see in a final. 4 behinds in the first quarter, 2 in this. As it's kicked up toward the wing. Good mark there by Matt Allen. Just one arm, using one to fend off and the other to mark.
5th in the league this year, Matt Allen, for grabs.
So he just sends it in. Big up and under kick. Pink was there, big fist in the end from the defender Somerton. Haynes diving on the footy. And brought down nicely. I think it's Schwartz tackling. They'll come back up. Big pile of players. They desperately want the W tonight. A grand final on offer as the umpire resets play at the top of the Glenelg goal square. McBean doing the ruck work. Haynes on the last line of defence just sends it away, but it's not a flash kick. It goes out of bounds on the full. It's going to be a kick for the Bays from about 45 metres out.
Luke Reynolds professionally running towards the ball when it goes out of bounds, so the umpire's got no option, but he has to give it back to Alex Martini.
So
you think he just pops one to the top of the square.
You would just think exactly that, as Martini not a great goal kicker. He's much more of a defender, as he does do exactly that. Sets it up and nicely taken. Reynolds, who wanted it to start with, has got a much better spot to kick from. Slide angle, top of the goal square.
Just patient. Reynolds came from a couple deep. Attacking that ball as well was Klusky. But he did it beautifully, Luke Reynolds. Gee, you need this as a settler. You wonder just whether the plucky young South Adelaide asking Glenelg a question and how the nerves feeling.
He's kicked a goal in 18 of the 19 games this season, so very consistent player and relied upon once again. Another one for him. They just bring that lead back to 3.
Do you stay in or get out? Remain in your vehicle until help arrives. You'll be shocked by what you don't know.
So South Adelaide, after just kicking 1 goal in the first term, have kicked 3 this quarter. But the Bays bounce back with one of their own. And now the margin back to 3 points. All thanks to Luke Reynolds. Nearing half-time here at the Adelaide Oval.
Cracking contest, seesawing so far. McBean circles, stalking this one, wins it down. Oh, and the burst was Snook. Fantastic clearance work. Partington tumbles one to centre half forward again. Haynes leads Hosey. All the H's getting involved. That one out of play on SANFL Digital Pass. Well, Sam, any round, anywhere, anytime. It's fantastic to have your company on SANFL Digital Pass. SANFLDigitalPass.com.au as this one's brought up to centre wing in the hands of O'Neill. He's long down the line. Big fist comes from Durden. Does it beautifully. Have you had a beer at the Mosaic Hotel?
No, I haven't, but I definitely have to. Brand new restaurant and bar down there at West Lakes, and a wonderful setup, 7 days a week. You can head to mosaichotel.com.au if you want to book. Sports bar, gaming room, always live entertainment happening. It's just a sensational place. Good time to go there as well. Grand final day tomorrow. As McBean just taps it down toward nobody. Just some space in the boundary line awaits there for Partington, who sees it over. Centre wing here in front of the members.
I've been impressed with Andrew Bradley. 12 disposals. Not a prolific ball winner traditionally, but he's been involved in everything. He's running with Bryce Gibbs. You just wonder whether there's a bit of a gulf in class between Bryce and Bradley, but he's holding his own in this fight so far. Here he goes again. Wins that handball. Snoop, Horne-Francis. Gibbs doesn't bounce for him. Just out of play.
A little bit unfortunate there for Bryce Gibbs, and it is last touch, so the Bays get it back. So would have liked to have touched that before it went out, just to create a stoppage. McBean sends it inside 50, lowered eyes. Partington looking to Crum. He'll go a second time. Handball away to Bailey, who kicks around the body. High ball toward the pocket. Reynolds awaits. Here's Hosey again. Toe poke through from behind. Good pressure by the Panthers.
Well, if you're Lockie Hosey, you're just wondering, can I just please have a regulation shot on goal? Kicked a couple of points tonight as Glenelg's sharpshooter. Liam McBean as well. Not yet on the scoreboard, something we don't traditionally see halfway through the second term. So they've got a bit of work to do. Curran fights to the front of this. Martini does well to gather that in front of Wilkinson. The pressure comes. Martini adjusts his boots. Hanneth. Snook grabbed around the hair. It was that high. It wasn't even the shoulders. As Martini remonstrates with Gibbs. Points to the mark. There's Matty Snook. Left boot. Hot spot. Looking for McBean. He's got a case for a free kick. The umpire calls play on. That one from Skinner's just thrust high in the air. The hold this time is going Martini's way. That was on Wilkinson. Again, rinse and repeat to the hot spot. McBean can't mark. Fist comes. Well done there by Haran to gather. Sold into a bit of trouble. Laying the tackle and winning the free kick. Beautifully done by Reynolds.
Oh, he's been everywhere, and so far this quarter getting really involved, Luke Reynolds, and that's what you expect of a senior player. Pins one arm, makes it difficult for Beamans to go anywhere. Absolutely brilliant. And once more, we'll have another set shot at goal and can hopefully take back the lead for Glenelg.
So a similar position. Luke Reynolds already got one in this term. On the runway. His left boot looks pretty good. He celebrates straight away. The Tigers back in front.
Just stay inside, mate.
How close is too close? Stay 10 metres away from downed power lines. You'll be shocked by what you don't know.
Well, important moment once again for Glenelg. It's been a quarter of two halves, really. South Adelaide started off with such prominence, and they worked their way inside 50 so many times and created chances for themselves and made it really difficult for Glenelg to get it in their half of the ground. But ever since, it's been the Bays. It's about 10 minutes into the term, and then it's been the Panthers with all the issues. So 2 goals now in response to the 3 at the start of the term by South Adelaide. And they've got the lead back. 4-7 plays 4-3. Hanneth in the ruck, pushed out by Griffiths pretty well. Snook falls over Gibbs. They all land on each other. And they'll restart play once again. 24, just about 25 minutes played now in this second term. Approaching the half-time break of this preliminary final. The winner to take on the Eagles next week. Played brilliantly. Good running by the Panthers from defence. Schwartz spins around a player, hoping to get to Haynes. It's a bouncing footy. Bailey, handball's back inboard. Schwartz again, follows up, grabbed and brought to ground. Terrific pressure has been the tackling pressure all day long.
They were away then, the Panthers. Just an error and a handball, and Tigers able to lend a hand and shut that attacking down. Turner's caught holding the ball. Well done. Gibbs takes advantage and plays on. His handball comes out wide to Turner. Turner's up and under. Curran sits underneath. He can't mark. Ball hits the deck. Mopping up. Fit. Turner again. Stretch is turned around. Horne-Francis flies. Amazing effort by that young man. Schwartz. His ball back to Gibbs. The classy Gibbs tumbles one forward. It's about the bounce. It's over the head of Durden. Whoa, and a bit of relief for the Tigers. Gee, there's a scuffle on it. Centre wing. The emergency umpire's out to it.
Well, that started earlier. I think it's Wilkinson who really did start a little bit of a scrap about 2 minutes ago when that stoppage was there. And ever since, it was sort of on for about a minute. So glad that it's broken up now. Skinner's been dragged off the footy there by Agnew. No free kick given whatsoever. And the Bays will move it forward here with Motlop, who's got the footy, just straightens this up. Kicks nicely in toward Hosey, who just not a great kick at all. Not sure what he was doing there. Almost intercepted as the kick wasn't great. Skinner, clearing kick towards Stretch. He's brought down straight away. Tackle once more. At the back, Skinner again just retreating. McBean with a ridiculous snap at goal as he's being tackled. And across the face for another behind. So 4 goals, 8 now for the Bays.
But that pressure up the ground was immense, just forcing South into a couple of mistakes. And then as soon as it got inside 50, the pressure came for Bailey. McBean just offline. Haynes goes for distance. One-on-one, Proud and Kaylotto getting involved. Kula, Proud again. A high ball. Gee, it's been up and unders all night for the Tigers forwards. McBean this time couldn't hang on. South can crumb. Just clearing centre half, to the wing rather. Taking a good grab there, Dylan Lant. Well, that was, again, just a hack ball out of the space. Lance ball just floats through the air. Darcy Bailey does well to attack that. Kula can't gather. Taking it now, Turner. His end over end ball. Cutting in front of Proud was Lant. Virgin on the right boot. Finds Snook. Skills at a premium going inside forward 50. Haven't seen a lot of accuracy for the Tigers. McBean's got 4 to contend with. Does well to crash the pack. Hayne goes well to get off the ground. And the Tigers can clear this time.
Big flying up and under kick. Punch from behind there from Durden and seen over there by Nobes. 4 goals last week for Daniel Nobes. Been held very, very well tonight so far by Sam Durden and Max Proud in tandem. Don't want him to get off the leash whatsoever. Big boy up at full forward for the Panthers.
Kicked 2 last time. These two sides met in round 7.
Ball back in. Bradley overruns it with Schwartz. Squirts a handball out, Partington. Back to Bradley. Shallow inside 50 kick this. Little bounce. Horne-Francis running through. McBean stronger, tougher than all of them. Straighten up kick to Stretch. Wonderful footy IQ. He goes for goal, Billy Stretch. That's a wonderful piece of play by the Bays.
His second for the game, Billy Stretch. The Tigers' 5th. Wasn't that an unbelievable piece of solo play from Liam McBean to find his man in a bit of space? He played on straight away from 45 straight in front, and he knew straight away, Billy Stretch. The cream's starting to rise perhaps for the Tigers. The longer the game goes, the more you think the better team will take the ascendancy. They've had 13 scoring shots to 8. They only lead by 10. This one's tight.
Billy Stretch without a goal all season. He's got 2 in the first half of this prelim final. Big punch from Griffiths toward the forward line. Wilkinson to O'Neill, connects nicely. Inside 50, the ball bounces. Virgin overran it. Brought down Fitz. Good pressure by Glenelg in the defensive half. And another ball up as we approach 30 minutes in this second term. Can't be far away now from half time as a free kick's given to Agnew.
5 tackles last week. Brad Agnew, pretty important one there too. Gets it done in and under. This one to the wing, right on the stroke of half-time. It's the Tigers who rallied late. They answered the Panthers' first 3 goals of that term with 3 of their own. Teams break for the half-time break. It's 5-8, 38 to Glenelg. South Adelaide 4-4, 28. A 10-point lead after a couple of handy goals late. Billy Stretch and Luke Reynolds as well. So Sam will sum it up in a couple of minutes. There's a lot to go through. The numbers will paint a pretty interesting story here at Adelaide Oval. A spot in the grand final up for grabs on SANFL Digital.
For him, Matty Snooks had the better of him, 4 clearances for the day. He's also got 12 disposals, and unfortunately for Gibbsy, only just the 8 touches and 1 clearance for him. He really needs to get himself around the footy a lot more, and when he starts to, things generate for the Panthers going forward especially, so he'll be a key part of the second half.
Absolutely. Matty Snook, he's been in some pretty good form too. 7 clearances and 29 disposals last week. Here we go. Third quarter about to get underway at the Adelaide Oval.
Griffiths and Hanneth into the centre, the premier ruckman for these two sides, and Griffiths the one that wins it immediately. Snook and Gibbs there fell over each other, and now Hanneth just wins it out himself, gets it up forward. McBean flies, comes to ground, couldn't hold on to it, tapped away. Just a little clearing kick here for the Panthers. Turner knocks it up in the air. Hanneth running after it, so is Snook at speed. Caught under it there, Roberts. And now Schwartz up the ground. His kick went okay toward Cross. He dropped it, ran into trouble. Schwartz gets it back a second time and then goes away toward Gibbs, who marks uncontested. And now Roberts on the far wing.
Tigers getting back in numbers. Agnew marking Cross. Roberts goes. Got a runner on the outside. Motlop gives chase. The ball to the hot spot. Who's in best position? Proud lends a fist. Curran getting back there as well in front of K-Lotto. Tackle to the ground. South fans call for a free kick. Umpire says, don't be silly.
You said just at that break there, sorry, as you talk about the rain, that's going to make conditions really, really interesting now. Second half, skills are going to have to be really exceptional with a wet footy.
Just starting to dust the Adelaide Oval. Durden clears the area. Tumbling ball beats the pack. Motlop holds his man off. Pink falling to the ground. No clean possession taken, but a free kick going Glenelg's way. It's Jack Klusky. His ball to Allen is untidy, but he's good enough to gather. Left foot ball is up and under. In best position going back is Rose with courage. Did it well, the captain. And again, majority of players in this quadrant of the ground. Rose, nothing on but down the line. Tigers with numbers. Big fist came from overall. Spilling the pack, his cross ball to centre half forward. Ever to Sampson, called to go. Short ball into the pocket is good. The mark spilled by Cross. Snook, Agnew, the Tigers can clear.
Overall really, really wanted that in the pocket, but Cross just jumped in front of him, ball bouncing away over the boundary line. And likely, no, it is a free kick last touch. So South get it back here. Sampson receives the short kick in. Here on the far wing at the Adelaide Oval. Early stage of second half, if you've just joined us here on the SANFL Digital Pass. Slowly moving it up the ground here. Schwartz with the footy. Short kick looking for Wilkinson was a little bit dangerous. Now Allen to Martini and they move it on fast. Motlop with foot speed. Kicks up toward Pink, who's all on his own now. He's got a one-on-one contest. Running back is Hosey. He's going to have to beat Haynes, though, as he pushed. Umpire has said yes. Top of the square, Lockie Hosey earns himself a free. So Haynes, hands and knees after what was a really good defensive effort, but just a step too far. Lockie Hosey now. Chance to go back and kick. Well, he'd love to be his first goal. He missed a couple earlier. He's finally got one.
With agribusiness industries growing in South Australia, there's low-cost skills and training available now, including apprenticeships. Unlock opportunities to earn while you learn and build your career. Explore your passion. Visit skills.sa.gov.au. A message from the Government of South Australia.
Well, he tried hard there, Joe Haynes, didn't he? Tried to avoid putting the hands out. In the end, ended up making front-on body contact. And when Hosey's bursting back to the square just to A sense of inevitability once that ball's in the air, that the forward's always in best position, and the defender up against it. You basically have to not touch them.
Yeah, that's right. You've got to play the ball as much as you can, but running back with the flight, really tough stuff for the defender.
Hanneth back in the centre. High fly that time from Griffiths. Snook at the bottom of this pack. Tackle laid. That one not coming out. Gibbs getting involved. Andrew Bradley helps his teammate to his feet. Griffiths that time. Bradley again. Or Partington it was. Just tumbles one into space. Allen gives pursuit. Beating him to it was Heaslip. The ball out of play. So a fast start from the Tigers, just like that. 16 points. It was 9 at the first change, 10 at the main break. The Tigers getting the first one through Hosey. His season high of 5 came a little earlier in the year for Lockie Hosey against Port Adelaide. South forward this time. Fist from Durden. Max Proud arrives to give him a shove. And that would have been another outstanding highlight to add to this young man's growing reel.
He was open goal. He had the chance. He was in front. He was just grabbed by the jumper, and it was enough to lead that kick astray.
Dylan Lant, well done.
Missed opportunity there, but such a tough one. And that's the stuff that turns games. McBean up the ground, takes a good mark at half-back, leading strong from the wing. And then takes his time to look up the ground. Short kick. Finds his teammate in Bradley, who kicks inside the corridor. Nice take there by Matt Allen as the rain just continues to lightly fall over the Adelaide Oval. Big up and under kick. It's going to be tough for the players under it. Motlop's there. Just drops a slippery footy. Tries to get the handball away. Hanneth's there. He gets it back himself. Tackled again. Holding the ball. Had many opportunities. And away they go from half-back. Sampson, a handball away. Roberts, he sends it long. One-on-one. They're running inside 50 here. Durden and Overall. Durden taps to his own advantage. Overall loses his feet. They both lose their feet. Agnew handballing the Curran. Umpire's found a free kick. It's going to go Glenelg's way.
It was for a trip. It was there. Could have taken the advantage, but Chris Curran hands it back. Well called, Sam. That was a frantic passage as the Panthers got out in transition. A one-on-one and a nasty bounce for Overall. Things could have been a little different. The Tigers head to centre wing. McBean getting back. Dropping in there to put a fist on was McKinnon. Never a nice place to be, backing back into a bit of space when you've got a hulking key forward coming at full pace behind you. You can hear the freight train arriving, but he did that well, Jesse McKinnon. 5 games this season for the young man. 8 tackles last week to go with his 4 clearances. So the big Bulls lock horns on the wing. Gibbs tumbles one over the shoulder. A few Glenelg players get in their way and give away a free kick. Well, a little clumsy that time against Martini. So the ball inboard, Heaslip. He's got a man over the top. Roberts, he has to sit and wait. Doesn't get there in time. That should be a high tackle. Paid it is. Hayden Sampson. Again, a little shrug of the shoulders, and you can understand why Tigers faithful is a little unhappy. This ball to the hot spot. Fist from Curran. Pushed as he kicked off the ball. Ball spills to Schwartz. He goes back and forth. Gibbs now from 45. Flying shot on goal is across the face. Horne-Francis off hands. Ricochets into the post for a throw in. Now Horne-Francis is spending a bit more time forward early on in this third term.
Well noticed, he has in that full forward position. He's been playing on Virgin, so that's a one-on-one we're going to watch keenly now for the next little portion of this quarter if he stays up there out of the midfield. Overall taps towards Schwartz, who's not far away from goal. Can he dodge and evade? Not quite. Here's Horne-Francis as the umpire blows the whistle. Glenelg once more. A free kick going their way on the last line of defence. We'll take another look at the replay here. Durden and Virgin looks like it may have been holding the ball, perhaps.
Probably a case for a handball.
Perhaps. So nonetheless, 15-point lead here for the Bays, 8.5 into the third quarter, and South Adelaide a few opportunities. That's a very dangerous kick, not the distance back into the goal square, and it's just, they just cleared it long. Skinner's under it, big punch away there by Pink, and now well picked up there by Sampson. That was really, really smooth footy, bouncing footy inside 50. Trying to pick it up cleanly there. Overall gets it now to Turner, who just kicks on the inside out.
Watch South Adelaide play every game live, anywhere, anytime with the SANFL Digital Pass. Get yours at sanfldigitalpass.com.au.
Well, the young man, if you had any doubt before about how good this kid is, I mean, that was a toe poke from the line, but the fact is his work rate is through the roof. He got himself to a contest, picked himself up, sprinted to the goal line, beat everyone there and was able to slot through his team's fifth. A crucial goal for South Adelaide. Jason Horne-Francis, there he is, the front of that pack, and just an explosive burst of speed. We've said it before, reminiscent of Patrick Dangerfield. This young man's got it all ahead of him.
He's got some amazing numbers now, 12 disposals, 2 goals, 1 for the day, 5 clearances. He's looking ominous.
He certainly is. This ball spills to O'Neill. Tumbles to centre half forward. Curran going back and taking a good grab with courage. Ranked 3rd in the league this year for marks. Does the co-captain for the Tigers. So heavily relied upon, he and Max Proud, just to shore up the defence. So they're on the far side. No chance to go inboard. It looks like this one will go down the line. Called to play on. Coming from deep there was Pink. Couldn't quite get the hands on that one. It's out of play in front of the next generation of SANFL stars, perhaps. A few young fans in waving the flag.
Great to see so many young kids getting around SANFL footy in prime time on a Friday night. No better time to watch it. 2 teams head to head. Schwartz backings it out of the pack there up toward the 50. Underneath it was Nobes, but Durden ends up with it. He's brought down by Overall. Really well done in the tackle. Umpires decided to give benefit of the doubt. They'll throw it up. Sam Overall just taking a moment to get up off the ground as he looks at his hand. Maybe hurt himself in the pack, who knows. Handball away, O'Neill just fumbles out there. Sampson, who's been busy this term, kicks around the body. One-on-one, Wilkinson out the back. There's Nobes. Can he run back onto it here? The Panthers with another chance at goal. He's brought down well. Umpire says holding the ball. Had a chance there, Liam fit to score, but brought down immediately. Quick tackle there by Martini.
Great desperate defensive work by Adelaide's number 16. Does it so regularly. This ball to centre wing. Proud can't grab. Heaslip on hands and knees. No one can take clean possession. Martini, just an unsung hero, really, isn't he? Just a man who gets his job done week in, week out. McBean probably had a fistful of jumper, did Griffiths. What a beautiful night here at the Oval. Rain just ceased. Conditions should be perfect for the rest of the evening, we hope. Brett Turner, the runner, makes way. Toby Pink rather. This ball now at the ground level was Sampson, tackled by Bailey, holding the ball. Well done, Darcy Bailey, always looking to put on pressure. Now the Tigers are away. Partington through the middle of the ground has Pink and a short one over the top. And if he looks to his left, he's got a man in the pocket free. He honours that. Be an easy shot from the pocket for Allen. So beautiful transition work from the Tigers, all set up by their star Luke Partington through the middle of the ground. Showed a calm head, Toby Pink as well, got back off the mark quickly. The ball ends up in the forward pocket with Allen.
Brilliantly caught as well, just that way they moved it too. It just felt like it was always on. They had players in acres of space. And Toby Pink, good to just settle and assess the situation. He's got it to Allen in the pocket.
16 touches and 2 goals last week. He puts it through. Matt Allen, his 19th for the year. The Tigers are getting started.
What a day. Gotta sweat it out. Let the pressure out. Push on. Come on. Tomorrow, bring it on. Ion 4 Hydration. Powerade.
It's the Tigers the first to raise the bat at the Adelaide Oval. 7-8-50. They reached the halfway mark. Normally the team to 100 first wins, Sam, but halfway there, South Adelaide have been super competitive. They're not going to lie down at all. This will go down to the wire, make no mistake. But a beautiful piece of transition play results in the Tigers' 7th.
Yeah, they weren't kicking too straight in the first half. They'd kicked 8 behinds, but now 2 goals straight to start the next term. And all of a sudden the game opens up a little bit here for the Bays, but they need to keep kicking straight. McBean in the ruck, wins it, looking for Partington. He falls over it, just overran it a bit as well. Carlotto sits on top of him. There's Horn Francis, gets it out to Gibbs, who just kicks a high ball up in the air, running after it there. Stretch, gathers well. Nice and poised back to Land, who just pops it up nice and high, and Bradley takes a good mark. Tripped as he wants to play on. Umpire says just go back behind the mark and reset that play, boys.
He's been impressive, Bradley. Like what he's been able to do tonight.
Racking up the numbers high. We might get his disposal count in a minute. Flying high the back, another one from Hosey. He's had some sort of night with the marking, and he plays on because the man on the mark just ran off in Skinner. Gets to 50, top of the square. Another chance for the Bays. This time, Jack Husky, who's been quiet all evening, takes an easy chest mark, and they'll set shot for another goal this term.
Beautiful passage of play. Well recognised, Lockie Hosey. The South defenders just dropped back off and set up by Andrew Bradley. He's had 16 and perhaps winding back the clock. He always says he's a bit unlucky not to be drafted, does Andrew Bradley. Tongue firmly in cheek there. But he's doing it beautifully tonight.
Jack Husky, who's been brought back into the team tonight, sets up right in front of goal, stabs at it, and it's just gone across from goal. He's missed an easy opportunity. Is that a little door opening up for the Panthers once more? 7-9 plays 5-5.
Have to take your chances in finals. South, ball out wide. Heaslip's got a bit of a problem. Little untidy emerging from their back 50. And the Tigers force a throw-in on the outer side. This has been a ripper. Still a quarter and a half to go on SANFL Digital Pass. We're 15 minutes through this third term. Any round, anywhere, any time. And there's only one round to go. No better time to get involved. McBean with strength. Ball over the back. Virgin ricochets around. Pinball inside the clearance. Allen lays the tackle. Umpire needed to sort it out. It's been a ferocious contest. Skills at a premium. No side giving an inch so far. Two ruckman lock horns shoveled out that time from Schwartz. Umpire's picked out a free kick. It's going to Horn Francis. Hasn't he had some sort of third term?
He's really starting to impose himself here in this game. The kick, a bit of a dicey one up toward the wing. Snook ends up with it. A little chain of handballs out to Partington. In fact, Lant goes inside 50. Chance to mark. Getting in front was Haynes. Wonderful piece of defensive work. And just plays it on quickly to switch up the side of the ground. Kick wasn't very accurate. It's just going to stay in maybe for Turner, not quite. Goes out of bounds now, 60 from goal for the Bays, but wonderful piece of stoppage there by Haynes.
Certainly was required. Got one back on Hosey, perhaps. 1-1 in the battle, you'd have to say tonight. Beautiful work, Joe Haynes. So tossed in, McBean still doing the ruck work. This time it's Schwartz, swings one around the corner. Proud's going to get onto this one. It evades the pack overall, pursuing him, just harassing. The Glenelg skipper professionally runs that one out of bounds. And well done, Sam overall. Might not be involved in that contest to mark, but does the team thing and gets it out of play. Kicked a goal last week, 3 times. He's kicked multiple goals this year, Sam overall. Needs a few tonight. McBean and Carlotto. Snook can't grab. Bradley again. This time tumbled forward from Turner. Where are the Flyers? There is one. That's an unbelievable leap. Couldn't bring the ball to ground. Curran under pressure. Martini. His ball smothered by Roberts. Some sort of leap. But it's hot in the Panthers forward line.
Big flying opportunity there from Overall. Came from a long way back too, and he set himself quite well. Missed an opportunity there. Nobes will do the ruck work. Doesn't quite get that. Turner, a little handball to Gibbs. He stops on a dime. Back to Turner. Around the body. It's just too skinny. A behind again. And the Panthers get the second behind for this term. And just can't quite cut into this margin at the moment. 36 plays 51. 15 points the difference.
So Dylan Lant with the responsibility this time. Goes short. Martini in a 1-2. He goes again. Dylan Lant takes a bounce. He's going to be run down. Beautiful run-down tackle, Eamon Wilkinson. He didn't give up. And he finally got his man. Dylan Lant, well, a bit too lax. Maybe that's the spark the Panthers need. Wilkinson, driving ball to the hot spot. Goes through hands, clearing ball. Bailey's going to get on the end of this, and now the Tigers can break through the middle of the ground. They have to be steady. Panthers trying to get back in numbers, and that's a lack of cool head. It finds Haynes. Lockie Hosey with his arms outstretched says, well, any chance. That ball's good. That's going to Schwartz. Schwartz has Bailey marking him. Over the top there to Turner. Turner's handball outside. He slipped. And his ball's not bad. A juggling effort there nearly came from Fit. He attracts a crowd. Well, that would have been something. Umpire will be needed to sort this out. But, geez, in the blink of an eye, slingshot back the other way. And Fit nearly pulled in an absolute beaut.
Yeah, end-to-end stuff. It's kind of what you want to see in finals footy. It's opening up big time, especially through the middle of the ground. As they find a free kick here, too high. And it's going to be a free kick for Sam Curran. Part of that tackle. Comes up with a footy, so Chris Curran rather. As he moves it up the ground quickly. Far wing just bounces over the top. Everyone didn't read it quite well enough. Beamans sends it inside 50. There's a marking contest here. Big punch work by Durden as it goes over the line. So we've played 20 minutes now in this third quarter. We're getting closer and closer to three-quarter time. And South Adelaide, they're really going to need to get a couple of goals on before they go into the final term, you'd think, to really stay in touch. The Bay's looking in control at this stage.
15-point margin. Griffiths, bit of work to do. Can he tap to advantage? Both ruckmen, fresh air shots. He goes again, the big man. Virgin picks it up as a crumb. He stumped as he kicked. It'll be a free kick downfield. Yes, it is. Well, there's a bit of a blue on as well. Michael Virgin not really appreciating the treatment he copped by the big man too. Geez, that was there. That was clumsy. But he wanted to make a point, did the big ruckman. He certainly made it at the expense of Michael Virgin. Martini marks, wants to go by hand to Lant. That one hangs in the air. Wilkinson doesn't give up on it. His defensive effort's been a highlight in this third term. On that occasion, just infringing with the chop of the arms, and that was well and truly there. But he's one of the few South Adelaide players looking to apply a bit of pressure.
He's had a full crack today, Wilkinson, definitely. Gibbs comes through with a big punch, but unfortunately he thinks he chopped the arms as well, so Bradley's rewarded with the mark. 2 in a row there. Good defensive efforts from the Panthers, just unfortunately not quite on the mark. And Curran quickly moves it away. And marked by Kluski out the far side, is it? Virgin rather. Quick kick. Finds Allen. So the Panthers just throwing all their effort into this in the third quarter. They really need to bring this margin back as quickly as possible because they're moving up the field well here. Bradley plays on real quick from the mark, sends it back inside 50. Haynes at the back, he's been prolific this quarter, a third mark. Wonderful take. And just will set up South Adelaide again, hopefully to slingshot back out of defence. And the kick, though, unfortunately astray. Not his best kick, out of bounds on the full.
Well, aerially, he's probably saved the Panthers 2 goals. I mean, he gave that one away in a free kick with Hosey, but he was dreadfully out of position and let down by his teammates up the field. But that one not his best work. So Lant fires in. Reynolds can't grab. Summerton just clears the area. Agnew, proud. The Tigers now. That's Turner. Turner goes short to Motlop. So, in the blink of an eye, a shot on goal for Marlon Motlop. Hoping to extend the Tigers' season and his career. Set to be his last foray, this one this year. And, well, wouldn't he like to end this with another premiership, of course, part of the 2019 side that took care of Port Adelaide at this venue. Marlon Motlop, 25 goals for the year. Can he make it 26? It's fading back. Wow, it held its line. The Tigers extend their lead.
Do you stay in or get out? Remain in your vehicle until help arrives. You'll be shocked by what you don't know.
30 years of age, Marlon Motlop, and still the third highest goal kicker for the Bays this season. He's certainly contributing. You just see there, Anthony Beamans just wasn't quite on his man, allowed Motlop that space into the pocket. I don't think there was, it seemed like a bit of confusion perhaps as it was coming inside 50 with the structure there for the Panthers defensively and opened up that room And Motlop, that kick was just exquisite. The way it floated back in, it shouldn't have gone that way, but it did. A little bit of breeze to help him. And now that margin out to 21 points.
Held goalless last week he was, so you just wonder if there's a bit of fire in the belly, and no bigger stage to do it for Marlon Motlop and the Tigers. This one in dispute. Turner lays a tackle. Say he loves a tackle. Well, ranked third in the league this year for tackles. That ball out wide to Horn Francis. He's had some significant impact in this third term. Lant tumbling in a contest. Curran, ball out of bounds in the hands of Lotto. And Fit, rather. Tossed in on the forward flank for the Panthers. Desperately need one to stay in touching distance late in this third term. Rux, Hanneth. That bouncing ball by Sampson. Just an end over end. No one can mark. Martini puts a fist on. Proud. Lotto out of bounds.
Nearing closer and closer to three-quarter time. Bays have been very good. 3 goals won this term to South's 1 goal 2. And straight kicking means so much in a game like this. Little tap towards Schwartz, who goes around the body with his kick. Fits there. Can he win the race? And can he get it on the boot in time? He's going to be brought down brilliantly. Umpire says play on. In fact, in the end, he does call the whistle, holding the ball. Took a moment to call it, but eventually did, and good reward there for Chris Curran.
Brilliant work, wasn't it? Just a desperate chase down tackle, stuck with it, didn't infringe, had to be careful with Fit on the deck. He did it beautifully, the Tigers co-captain.
Curran out of defence, looking for Reynolds. Big in the second quarter, kicked 2 important goals at this Northern Andes. At that very end right now on half back, looking to reload and rebound back out of defence here for the Bays. Toward the wing, McBean, missed him, but it found Pink, just sitting at the back, minding his own business, just landed in his lap. As they play as all flood forward, he chooses to go long. Big up and under kick toward the paint of 50. Motlop just waited for it. Big fist there. Haynes finds himself with the footy once more. Good tackle there. And Kluski's gone down. There's also a little bit of a fight going on 50. Umpire's going to ball it up just to try and get things moving. Not good scenes there as they move away. Little clearing kick.
Well, they're still going. Hanneth and Griffiths. Someone's not happy. Not often you see your 2 twin towers wrestling on the deck while the ball's being tossed in. The responsibility left to someone else. Get up and do your job, fellas. So right on the paint for the Tigers. One here in the closing stages would be an absolute dagger. Virgin dispossessed. As the Panthers swarm defensively. Horn Francis getting involved. Here he goes, the young man. Has he got a target up the field? He just goes long down the line. Overall can't turn in time, and Proud takes a good grab. Horn Francis has done everything in his power to keep his side in this game. Is it the last time he's seen for South Adelaide? It's a good grab out on the wing by Reynolds. Allen, rather, it is. His left foot ball. Reynolds there. Proud stays down. McBean stays down. Reynolds waltzes into an open goal. The left foot is across the face. Well, he had a little bit of time. The defensive pressure came. Wrong side for a left footer. Reynolds just fluffs his lines. That would have been an absolute heartbreaker for South.
Might have just about been the first nail in that coffin with a quarter to go. Reynolds, a big opportunity there. 8 goals, 10. Just haven't been able to put away some of those chances that we've been speaking about all night. Big clearing kick intercepted straight away by Curran, and he'll look to rebound it straight back in there. Can they get a mark before three-quarter time? McBean was in front, got the hand to it. Kluski, little handball toward Motlop. Spins around, they won't get it in time as we just run out of time. 58 plays 36. Right now, the Bays in prime position to walk into their second grand final in 3 years. 22 points the margin, 8-10 plays 5-6. We'll have the final quarter on the other side on the SANFL Digital Pass.
You'd imagine Brett Hand has a few aces up his sleeve just to stop his side entering any little rot with a grand final berth on the line. Hey, Andrew Bradley's been pretty impressive. We've seen 21 touches, Dylan Land 2. Nick Schwartz has come alive, 24. And Hayden Sampson had an enterprising third term. He's got 23. Well, the game needs a winner for South Adelaide. Responsibility probably going to go to Bryce Gibbs. And for the Tigers, well, Brett Turner in the middle of the ground and Matt Snook, Hanneth, fourth term, about to get underway.
So the big two ruckmen go at it as we start a massive final term. Partington caught immediately. Snook with the first clearance of the final quarter. Moving up to the half-forward line here for the Bays. Just bouncing footy. A little toe poke away from Harron. And now Gibbs connects with O'Neill and just lost the footy there, Beamans. Hanneth. And now back toward Cross, who handballs forward. He's got Roberts moving well. He's kicked 2 today. Sets it up to the top of the square. Nobes was there. So was Skinner. Comes at the back now. Falling out of bounds there. Curran couldn't keep his feet. And a ball in around from Panthers goal.
We talked about what levers Jared Wright was going to pull. Sam Skinner contesting that ball up forward. So that looks like if the goals are going to come for them, it's going to come through Sam Skinner.
Through the hands there of Durden. He slipped, picks it up. He's got some space on the left boot. It's a scrambled kick, not his best. Out of bounds on the full. Didn't feel confident or look confident really on that left boot.
Just under a bit of pressure too, just tumbling as he kicked that one. He slipped, but he's been pretty effective tonight. Gets up and down the wing pretty well, and 7 marks and 18 disposals last week. So a pretty good run for Ben Heaslip on that occasion, just not his best as the Tigers go to McBean out wide. Pink arrives. Allen, ground level. No one can take clean possession but Gibbs, but his shoveled ball over the top finds Virgin, and Virgin just hacks it forward to Hosey, and Haynes takes it out of bounds. That's been a pretty good one-on-one battle. If Hosey gets the upper hand now, that's all she wrote. But Joe Haynes, 9 rebound 50s last week. He sets up a lot of the Panthers' attack. Season high of 40 disposals, Sam. So he knows how to get the pill.
Yeah, 11 rebound 50s for Haynes tonight. He's had 20 touches now for the evening.
The problem is the ball's down there too often for him.
That's right. He shouldn't be getting all those disposals. That's the issue for the Panthers, unfortunately, as the ball is going to be balled up again, centre wing. And it's been a dream year for the Bays when you look at the overall run sheet for their centenary year. Flag for the SANFL W team. They're under 18s and the reserves got to the grand final, couldn't get the job done, and they're one step away with their league team as well. Moved up to half forward, good mark by Overall, just sliding in on both his knees. Kicks nicely, finds Turner now. 50 metres from goal for the Panthers. Have a leading option or two. Carlotto came out high. Big punch through. Is it going to fall through from behind? It won't. In fact, it'll go out of bounds. Creates a stoppage. Probably a good result here for the Panthers.
They take the territory that's on offer. Now you're relying on Horn Francis and a couple of your smaller players. Haven't seen a great deal of Joel Cross tonight. Bryce Gibbs. Andrew Bradley looking after him at this particular stoppage. Matty Snook's got some company from O'Neill. Horn Francis bursts through. Turner lays a tackle. That's where he eats. Roberts tumbles one forward. It's touched off the boot. Snook should win a free kick for in the back. Clumsy fall over the top. Came from Fit. Umpire doesn't agree. Matty Snook just wipes the cobweb. Here's Cross trying to ignite something. The Panthers stepping through. Schwartz from 45. It's offline. But Jason Horn-Francis, I mean, there was never any doubt. He is putting his side on his shoulders potentially for the last time.
It's just not what you expect from such a young player, but his talent is on display on one of the biggest stages for South Adelaide. And don't forget, like we said at the start, this game is being broadcast across Australia tonight. As that one just fumbles out toward the boundary line. He's being watched by the entire nation. There is no question that he will fly into that #1 spot if he wasn't already there in the AFL National Draft. And if he somehow finds a way to bring South back within reach in this one, which at this rate he's doing a hell of a lot of work to do, he'll be one of the most impressive #1 picks in quite some time. Maybe premature, but it doesn't feel like it at this stage. Roberts brought down on a big tackle. And we'll restart play once again. 7.5 minutes into this fourth term. It's Glenelg by 21 points.
So tossed up, Hanneth. The Tigers just trying to edge the ball forward. They'd be happy with contest just to milk a bit of clock early on and make it harder and harder for South. Eventually they're going to have to roll the dice. 8-10, 58, 5-9, 39. Looks like a 19-point margin, so 4 unanswered goals still need to come for South Adelaide. That one called a play on cross. Well done. Bradley collides hard with Wilkinson, but did well to win the footy. That clearing ball to centre half forward was under pressure. Flying was Haynes, couldn't grab. Pink and Bailey at ground level for the Tigers. Spinning out beautifully was Beamans. Now he's got a man through the middle. He can wait and stop at Schwartz. Schwartz's chipping ball over the top is good. Puts the Panthers in some good position there. It's McKinnon, and McKinnon does well out wide to find Turner. So if they need 4, here's a chance for 1. Baby steps.
Fraser Turner brought into this team as well tonight. Only played 7 league games for the season, but this is such a crucial play. He's got to be able to put this through the big sticks or at least set someone up to kick. Horne-Francis is just sort of purring in that pocket. Maybe he wants it as well.
Wouldn't surprise you if he stood on someone's head. Horne-Francis. Turner's kicking from 51. Looks okay. Distance good, just offline. And as the game goes on, 9 minutes gone, any opportunity has to be capitalised. Otherwise, the Panthers will leave themselves too much work to do as the sideways ball comes into Virgin.
18 points the difference, 4 straight behinds from the Panthers. They're peppering, but they're running out of time. 10 minutes into this final term. They look to escape out of jail here, the Bays. Good mark by Curran on the wing. He's held up momentarily. He's got some movement ahead of him. Not a whole lot of easy option though. It's well covered by South Adelaide as they kick toward half forward. Big punch away there from Harron. The defensive work and the second efforts by the Panthers. They're showing they're putting in 110% this term. It's do or die. This club does not want to lose a 4th preliminary final since their last granny. It's been far too long. 42 years since they've made a grand final. Ball back in centre wing. Hannah, little tap down taken straight away there by Schwartz, but it's smothered over the line. We'll have another throw in. Just over 10 minutes in this final term. 58 plays 40 for South Adelaide.
Well, something needs to come for the Panthers. The Tigers fans pretty happy at this point. Grand final eve. Can't believe we're saying that, Sam. It's been a long year and here we are. That one falls to ground and emerges out the back of the pack. Looks like Turner driving the Tigers forward. That one falls in front of Bailey. Sampson can get and go. He's run down. Spills at centre half forward. Where's the goal kickers coming from? They're lining up the Tigers. Motlop's going to stroll into an open goal and can ice it. He's put it through.
Watch the Bays play every game live, anywhere, anytime, with the SANFL Digital Pass. Get yours at sanfldigitalpass.com.
That might just be enough for the Bays, but we don't know. They're hanging on. South Adelaide have been absolutely brilliant for the entirety of that 10.5 minutes, but one ball comes out the back for the Bays. They find some open space, and Motlop's there and kicks his second for the day, and so important. Probably their first inside 50 for the quarter, if we're honest. They haven't had much of it whatsoever in their forward half. And there it is. The Bays now out to a 4-goal lead. 9-10 plays 5-10. Maybe a bridge too far. It's going to take some sort of work here from South Adelaide to get themselves potentially in winning position. Hannah collects his own work. Kula tries to come through. Little toe poke from O'Neill. Wilkinson, I think it is, great tackle in the middle of the ground. And they'll come straight in, the umpires, to pull it apart and ball it back up once again. Hannah and Griffith go battle. Toe poke away toward the 50. Brought down there, stretch. Handballs away nicely to Kula. Virgin back to Durden. Touched off the boot. Bailey under it. He looks for a free kick. Sampson handballs over the top. Gibbs with some poise to O'Neill. He sets up a high ball. Unpredictable kick.
With agribusiness industries growing in South Australia, there's low-cost skills and training available now, including apprenticeships. Unlock opportunities to earn while you learn and build your career. Explore your passion. Visit skills.sa.gov.au. A message from the Government of South Australia.
Amazing amazing what we're witnessing here. Preliminary final night at the Adelaide Oval. Theo Duropoulos, this kid is unbelievable.
Well, you talk about generational talents, Nat Fyfe and Patrick Dangerfield, and players that can transform your football club. My goodness, what are we seeing from young Jason Horne-Francis? He's going to walk to Arden Street, and he's going to make a lot of people happy there. I tell you what, there'll be a few Crows fans sweating on what happens, whether they extend his contract by 5 or 6 years in the first 5 minutes he gets there. Wowee, have yourself a night, young fella. He's keeping his side in this game. Liam McBean. He does battle with Griffiths. This time, Turner drives the Tigers forward. Pink falls to ground. Under pressure, Hayne from Hosey. And it's at the right end of the ground if you're a Tigers fan. Joel Cross on the bench. Stunning career for him. 2 Magarey medals. Not many can say they've played a game, let alone won 1 Magarey medal, and then there's 2.
And 4 best and fairest as well. He's just been one of those players who is highly respected across the state. His contributions to the SANFL have been quite unbelievable.
You think we lose 6 Magarey medals at the end of this season?
Mitch Grigg going as well. It's been
Zane Kirkwood too.
Yep. Midway through the season. Good point. As that one bounces away, Sampson clearing kick, not his best though. Bit of danger here if you're a Souths fan. Almost lands in the lap there of Stretch, who does some hard work. Kluski gets it to Kula, and Kula sets it up out the back. Here's Kluski, in fact. His kick's just gone astray. Kula handballs into Bailey. Partington through for a behind. So they're staying in it here, the Panthers. Just a little bit of luck in another opportunity, and Gibbs moves away from halfback.
18 points the margin. They don't have to roll the dice just yet. Wilkinson, 15 minutes gone. A bit to do for the Panthers. This ball high to centre wing. Fist comes over the back. There's Nobes. Haven't seen much of him tonight. Last week's hero. That's a high up and under. Skinner in front of Proud. So 46 plays 65, 19 points. So still need 4 goals. Tossed in, right end of the field for the Panthers. That one gets nowhere near the ruckman. McBean lets it go. Bryce Gibbs now. He's had a pretty handy last term. That one fisted away from the pack. Hasn't been his best game, Gibbs, and so much responsibility is left to him. He's had 17, so he's emerged late. Hayden Sampson leading the way. He's had 28 for the Panthers.
Keep a close eye here on Horne-Francis. He's run out of the goal square to attend this passage, and I just feel like he might run through with some speed here. Skinner doing the ruck work. Hanneth, there he is right there. O'Neill, little handball up high in the air, brought down Proud. 2 players from South Adelaide get in the way and bring down the footy for another stoppage. 16 and a half minutes. About 40 from goal here for South Adelaide. They'd love another one. Skinner just on the outside of the boot. It's touched off. Here's Wilkinson. He's good in this situation. He's tackled though. Martini, he runs around. He's also caught by Fit. Little handball just at the last minute. Gets a little bit of room. Bursting through again, there's Skinner. And a clearing kick for the Bays. Up toward the wing now. It's taken by the looks. That's
Hosey.
Amazing by Lockie Hosey, just coming through with a 3-man pack and takes a chest mark.
Well, that's why you paid the big cash, the big key forwards to take grabs, and always handy when you can do it at a defensive end of the field as well to lend a hand. Good grab, Toby Pink. So are the Tigers' big names just starting to take control of this one? South Adelaide have thrown everything they possibly can at them. McBean's been kept quiet tonight. That's a positive for the Panthers. O'Neill getting involved here. That ball just forced out of bounds. But they've had to withstand a couple of questions, the Tigers, and if they're lucky enough to get through, well, it's going to be a last touch out of bounds free kick, it looks like, going to Toby Pink. If they are lucky enough to get through, then, I mean, the Eagles on their best day, as we saw last week, can be super dangerous. Just wonder whether they've learned a couple of lessons and what changes Brett Handel make. McBean, ball tumbles in his direction. K Lotto, 2 big dukes battle it out in the pocket.
You're spot on about the Eagles.
The Eagles, they're probably the one team that you just wouldn't want in a game where you're losing, you're out. Like during the season, no problem. But as we've seen, they've stood up enormously in that first final. And, I mean, the grand final, who knows? They're funny games, aren't they?
McBean around the body. It's not quite his best. It goes out of bounds. A bit of pressure around the footy. But you're right, the Eagles have been one of those, they've just about flown under the radar somehow, even though they've been dominant. They've had stretches of big wins. I think they won about 7 or 8 in a row, or only with about a loss in between. So they had some fantastic form throughout the year, and just because Glenelg was so prominent, they sort of got forgotten about a little bit, and they're into a grand final. The winner tonight meets them, and Glenelg 1 foot into that grand final at this stage. Pink sets it up. Maybe a chance here for Reynolds. Punched out the back as it goes toward the boundary line. Bailey there would have wished it didn't go so far away from him. He had a paddock to play with. So a 19-point lead at the moment for Glenelg. South have tried their hardest in this quarter, but only for 1 goal for. They've had shot after shot.
They've all come from one man. Horne-Francis. He's done nearly everything. Liam McBean snaps on the left boot. Could that be it? Could that be the game from the big forward? He's put it through.
What a day. Gotta sweat it out. Let the pressure out. Push on. Come on. Tomorrow, bring it on. Ion 4 Hydration. Powerade.
I think you might be right in that call, Theo. That could just be curtains as we tick into red time. South Adelaide just haven't been able to get those 4 goals we asked for at the 3/4 time break. Glenelg pile on their second now, and it's been really, really hard work. But once again, the Ken Farmer medalist, he's opportunistic in the pocket and finds a way to will his team what looks like into their second grand final in 3 years.
So McBean, the goal kicker, contests this ruck. O'Neill, Bradley's been impressive. Here he goes, winding back the clock. Not quite the spring chicken he used to be. That occasion just turns it over to Joe Haynes. But he's been a huge part, Andrew Bradley, this evening. He's done well to close down Bryce Gibbs to a degree, and certainly won his share of footy around the pack. This chipping ball from Cross is good. Panthers can launch again. That one turned over from O'Neill to Martini. Been pretty solid tonight down back, Martini. His sideways ball to Lant just soaks up a couple of seconds as the Tigers try and get the Panthers just out of shape. There'll be no rush from here on in. 21 minutes gone. Dylan Lant. Long down the line, Reynolds. Oh, good grab. Coming in from the side, K-Lotto. He moves it on quickly. That one goes to Rose. Rose under pressure now as he's called to go. Land in best position in front of Horne-Francis. Just applied enough pressure to affect the spoil. Martini wraps up Gibbs. Partington picks it up off the deck. Does he? Leaves it behind Martini, and Gibbs go again. A wrestle almost erupts. Bradley carefully done. Well done not to give a free kick away. Curran lends a hand. The Tigers have it just enough to repel a Panthers attack there from Wilkinson. Picks himself up off the deck.
On the chalk of 50, Hannah just punches it inside 50 now. Wilkin, but he's come down hard. He looks like he might need some assistance coming up again. That would have hurt in the landing. Courageous take, what you'd expect in a prelim. But of course, Jason Horne-Francis, the architect, in a beautiful little setup kick. And now Mitch O'Neill, 20 years of age, played 14 games this season. He sets up for this one. It might just be one last roll of the dice. It's not a great kick. Destiny may not be on their side tonight, South. Another behind. They kick 1 goal 5 for the term. They've had their chances, but they certainly haven't taken them, unfortunately. You cannot question the effort in this final quarter by the Panthers. And the Bays, they'll rebound back out of defence. Big punch from behind, Cross. Little handball. Short kick away, back toward Haynes. And Turner takes it at half back for the Panthers.
Well, they've been impressive tonight, the Bays. They've just done enough, you'd think. Time ticks away. McKinnon tried very hard tonight. Proud, best position, probably could have won a free kick. Nothing doing there. O'Neill, handball through, run down tackle Martini, the ball spills. Is it Payne holding the ball? It's not. Play allowed to go on. The Tigers forced into some defensive action once again. A big pack forms around this one. Is it coming out? Don't think so. A plane flying overhead. That's unusual.
It is extremely loud too. Not sure if it's coming through to the listeners, but that's extremely loud.
We haven't seen that for a while. That one tumbled out of play. Be a last touch free kick. It's going to Jake Summerton.
Might be fireworks.
What are they celebrating?
Sure.
It doesn't sound like a plane.
Doesn't, does it? It's some sort of loud noise over the river, perhaps. Anyway, sent back inside 50 here late in this fourth quarter. Punched away. Carlotto's caught in the tackle. I wouldn't know what they're celebrating. Maybe the Bays into a grand final, perhaps.
Well,
very early, though. Ball comes out. Carlotto, here's a chance. O'Neill just has a dodge around one. Should kick this. No, he won't. Unfortunately not. It's just not been their night. 1 goal 6 in their pursuit for a grand final in this fourth quarter of the preliminary finals. They will certainly feel heartbroken, but they've had all of this final term to get it done, and all the ascendancy as well. Pink, strong mark, brilliant contested work. Clock ticking down. SANFL women's team in their centenary years won the flag. Their 18s and reserves have been brilliant, making grand finals. Haven't been able to take that final step. The league team are going to be there on the big day against the Eagles. The two best teams are going to get there.
Well, it just feels about right, doesn't it, Sam? It's the way the season's a fair representation. He slips, got snooked. They're still going to the end. Darcy Bailey, is there time for one more for the Tigers? He hits up McBean. And this could be the icing on a very, very nice cake for Glenelg, for Brett Hand, and for a side that was questioned enormously in the last 2 weeks. Port Adelaide rolled through them. The Eagles got them when many thought it would be 1 foot into the grand final. And they've had to do it the hard way. Not as hard as South Adelaide, though. Got past Central District, got past Norwood, and have put up one hell of a fight here tonight. But ultimately, the team that was unbeaten for the majority of the season, just had the firepower around the ground, has taken the upper hand the longer this game has gone. Liam McBean to shut it down. He celebrates. The Tigers are through to the SANFL Grand Final.
Do you stay in or get out? Remain in your vehicle until help arrives. You'll be shocked by what you don't know.
The Ken Farmer medalist, you would ask nobody else to put the 2 daggers into South Adelaide to wrap this one up. When you need the big man to stand up, he does. 11-11 play, 6-12. They struggled in front of goal early on in this game, but since they've kicked 6 goals, 3 since the half-time break, and been brilliant. And that's been the difference. South Adelaide's kicking a goal, 6-12, unfortunately, has led to their undoing. Back in the middle, very late stages, final term. It's just a matter of time now. Tapped away, Gibbs. Handball toward Roberts. McKinnon manages to pick up a ball, and Kula slipping over, almost had a chance to kick away there. Horn Francis back in the guts of the ground, kicks inside 50. He's got a couple there, but flying in front. The captain in proud.
Proud captain.
Very much so.
Good grab indeed it was. Lant in the pocket. Curran calls for it sideways. In no rush whatsoever, Dylan Lant. Well, he is now because he's called to go, but he gets around one tackler. His long high ball to centre wing. Flying, Haynes, Pink, no one can take the mark. Horn Francis again. This kid's put on a clinic. Been a pleasure to watch, actually. The Tigers have been amazing, but as a side note, Horne-Francis has been absolutely electric. It's been a privilege to see him close up firsthand in the last game he's going to play before he's drafted.
Absolutely. 23 touches, 3 goals, 3, again. And he goes again. And it's just been one of those games. He almost gets the 3 votes despite losing the game. Out the back here, Curran. Could he get tracked down? He certainly has been. Fit into the pocket. Just about brought down there. Is that Heaslip, I think, just sets it up there for Wilkinson, who'll take a mark. No! Almost had it in the book there. He goes again. Second effort. Will try and pick it up in the pocket. Nobes on hands and knees. Stolen by Kula. Mark, not quite. And brought to ground. In the end, it'll be a ball up. But it's just been one of those games, unfortunately, for the Panthers. Not a whole lot of things go right just at the end. When they look like they've got it all sorted, they just fall away.
The crucial stages, the Tigers have just executed a little better. Snap came from Griffiths. Ball through for a behind. This reduces the margin to 28 points, and you feel like that could be all she wrote here at the Adelaide Oval. Not a great deal of time left, and Dylan Lant will just come wide, try and force it out of bounds or to a contest. McBean flies. Bailey grabbed around the neck, probably could have won a free kick, but incidental contact as he went to ground. Luke Reynolds claps his hands, and that's why the siren sounds. The Tigers, they bounce back. They're through to the SANFL Grand Final to tackle the Eagles. Stunning performance.
28-point winners. The best 2 teams will feature on the day, the Tigers and the Eagles. You couldn't ask for a better setup grand final next Sunday, but the Bays in their centenary year, it could just go golden for them. It almost went